Hi guys, it is April from Getting Hooga With It. I wanted to do this video today because I have a couple of things that I want to chat with you about. Number one is a read-along announcement that I want to do, and then the other thing that I want to talk to you about is book outlet and the major issues going on there. So first I'm going to talk about the read-along, and then I will talk about book outlet and my feelings and my thoughts. So let's get into it. So first up, in my last video where I talk about Black authors, I started the video talking about how I want to be a better ally to Black Lives Matter. And in that, I mentioned that I'd like to do a read-along for White Fragility, which is a book all about how we can be better allies and also how to identify racism within yourself, identify actions and thought patterns and things that are filled with racism and filled with white privilege, and not if seeing your white privilege. It's meant to be an amazing book. Mine is on the way. It's not here yet, but I'm very eager to read it. I also want to mention really quickly that all of the AdSense from this video will be going to the NAACP, as have my previous two videos. One where I had a heart-to-heart with you guys, that one, and then also the video where I did book recommendations for Black authors. So I wanted to mention that. So my read-along for White Fragility will be for the month of June. So pick it up whenever you can. I really want everyone to join in because I think it's such an important book. I really want to create a really good community here that is anti-racist, and I think that is going to help us along the way. I do want to mention that there is already a read-along going on for this book with books with Shea. She's doing a read-along right now that ends June 19th. And she's reading White Fragility and also White Rage. So if you have the book, don't wait. Pick it up, read it, go and chat with Books with Shea, chat with me. I mean, it would be great even if all of BookTube was doing some sort of read-along of an anti-racist book right now. I think that would be a really wonderful thing. It doesn't necessarily have to be White Fragility. There's plenty out there. White Rage, how to be an anti-racist. There's so many, as you know. You know, I want to make my channel be a very safe space for Black creators and Black subscribers, and so that's really important to me. I would love to see that all over BookTube. I think that would be a wonderful step in the right direction. So I also wanted to mention that I have decided to, yes, do a read-along here for White Fragility, but I also decided to bring that to my own community. So you know how every community has a neighborhood Facebook group where usually they're talking about please don't put your, pick up your dog poop, and does anyone have any patio stones available? That neighborhood Facebook group, I'm sure that many of you belong to your own. So I reached out to my Facebook group for my neighborhood and I asked if they wanted to do a read-along. And I am going to be creating a separate little Facebook group for the people who want to read White Fragility with me and create an anti-racist community right outside my front door. So I want to really encourage all of you who are going to participate in the read-along, just all of you in general. If you're participating in the read-along, why not extend it to your own community? I think that would be a wonderful thing. Now, little warning, you might find out that you got some racist neighbors, as I did. And I want to share a little bit of that with you. Now, I do want to say I have some amazing neighbors too, and I'm really excited to meet them one day after coronavirus is over, and I'm excited to create friends, but I did find out that I've got some racist neighbors. So I want to share with you how this has gone from me in my little neighborhood in Ottawa, Canada. So I wrote in this little community Facebook group, I said, "Hi everyone, I'm hoping to have a meaningful conversation with you all. We live in a predominantly white neighborhood and it may be easy for us to forget or not even see our white privilege. I'd like to invite everyone to join my read-along for White Fragility by Robin DiAngelo. I have a YouTube channel where I talk all about the books and I'm hosting it all about books and I'm hosting it there. That said, if you're interested in reading along with me, I would be happy to create a separate Facebook group for us to have a meaningful conversation as we read. Let me know in the comments below if you're interested. I want to make our neighborhood to be a place of anti-racism. I'm sure we can encourage each other and reflect on ourselves and make this a wonderful place to live for all of us." Here's a link to my most recent video where I talk about the read-along, blah, blah, blah. So I posted that and I got a couple of very upsetting answers. One guy wrote, "No offense, but it's people like you that create the divide. I see all nations and races getting along just fine in our neighborhood." And I wrote back, "Lol. I'm not saying that people are not getting along. I'm saying that I would like to help create a meaningful conversation here. Also, everyone knows that no offense means, hey, I'm about to say something crappy to you that you'll take offense to, but you can't take offense because I said no offense. We all learned that in middle school. Furthermore, asking people if they want to do a read-along is not being problematic. It's not creating a divide. Why is reading together divisive?" I want to say that at this point, his comment had 4 likes. Mine had nothing, which was extremely upsetting for me, and terrifying that I was, where the heck was I living? Another person came to his defense. A woman said, "Kinda agreeing with you," to that man. "I also find we are in a very equal neighborhood, not predominantly white. Sorry, with all due respect." They suggested that I do a read-along for a children's book instead, which I'm not going to do. And if I do that, I'm partly tempted to buy Anti-Racist Baby. That it's coming out June 16th, and I'm kind of tempted to say yes, okay, sure, and like read it out to them, but I don't know if I'll do that. A little later on in the day, like a couple of hours later, there was another person who wrote, "Hey guys, let's keep politics away from this group. I guess there are lots of other groups available out there that you'd be able to express your political views." I wrote back, "Racism is not politics, they are separate things entirely." And he said, "It is big time. I would really like to focus on what unites us here instead of running an agenda of division and guilt. I'm privileged to live here with such great neighbors like you, all of you, and I would like to for it to stay like that. Nice, friendly, and safe." And I wrote back, "I'm so glad. If you mean that, then you would be happy to read a book that encourages people to reflect and ensure that they are inclusive, make people feel safe, and are good neighbors. Looking forward to discussing the book with you." All that to say, I have encountered a lot of crappy people, but I have also encountered amazing people. One of the women who spoke up in my community group I cannot believe this. She teaches anti-racism at a university here in Ottawa. And I was like, what are the chances? This is amazing. And so there are several of us who are going to go into this, separate Facebook group and talk. And I'm so, so excited for it. Yes, the first initial reaction was incredibly negative, and honestly, I honestly started to feel like moving. I was so angry, but I know that anywhere I move, this is going to follow me along, us along, because there are no perfect bubbles. There are no bubbles in the world where racism doesn't exist. There aren't. And so I want to work on my own community. So anyway, I hope you guys don't mind that I'm chatting with you about that and I read that out to you. I just think it's really important that, like, yes, let's make BookTube anti-racist, absolutely, but let's also bring that to our homes. I want to know that I can go out the door and I'll be treated well, just as my Black neighbors will go out their doors and they should be treated well. This brought up, people came out with the racism that they experienced in my little neighborhood, and I didn't know about these things, and it should not happen. And I want to help create a community where that crap does not happen. So I'm really excited to make new friends. I'm a bit of a introvert, and so I think I have like a couple of neighbors that are friends of mine and I would consider friends, but for the most part, like, I'm an introvert and I'll like read outside, and I don't really talk to tons of people, and through this I feel like I'm gonna make some new friends and I'm very excited about that. So that is my little discussion part about white fragility and our read along. I'm so excited for it. I really hope that you join. It's going to be wonderful and eye-opening, and we're all going to learn a lot. Now I want to talk about Book Outlet. If you don't know, Book Outlet has some racism problems in their company. I'm going to get into what happened. Before I do that, I need to talk about my relationship with Book Outlet, so that is clear before we get into that. I had been a Book Outlet customer since I started BookTube. I think I found out about it through a BookTuber, and I started buying books from them. I reached out to them in April of 2018. I had 3,000 subscribers at the time, and I was asking if they would consider making me a Book Outlet vlogger friend, which is this page where booktubers have little posts about themselves, and it's you work with Book Outlet, they pay you a little bit, they also give you a gift card so you can buy their books, and so you can do hauls, and it's this wonderful, wonderful program. So I wanted to get involved. I didn't know how many subscribers I would need before they would consider me. So at 3,000 subscribers, I reached out and they said, no, I mean, you don't have enough subscribers yet, but we'll hopefully be in touch with you. So they kept me on their radar. I continued to be a customer. And in 2019, March of 2019, at that point I had 7,000 subscribers, and they reached out to me and asked if I wanted to be a Book Outlet vlogger friend. And I was so excited. I was beyond excited. They sent 3 books my way that I had wanted to get, which was very nice of them. And I looked at the Book Outlet vlogger friend page and looked at all of the vloggers, and I'm sorry to say that I only looked at them from a vantage point of what do they read and what do I read. So I was like, oh, I'm different because I read a lot of historical fiction. I'm different because I think I read more thrillers and horror books than these people do. And so I was excited because I was slightly different and I could bring something different to my relationship with Book Outlet. I focused on that, and I didn't focus or even see, hey, there's only one Book Outlet vlogger friend that's Black, and that was Naya Reads and Smiles, who I have since subscribed to and really enjoy. Anyway, I didn't see that. And that's a problem that I didn't see that. Now, my experience with Book Outlet was very, very good. I had several contracts with them. They sent a gift to Nora when Nora was born, which I thought was very kind. I do have to say, I noticed a lot of turnover in their social media group. I think I dealt with 3 or 4 people over, 2 years. So there was a lot of turnover. I don't know who is heading up the social media of the company now, but I dealt with a lot of turnover. Now, they ended their contract with me in February 2020. So my contract had ended and they didn't want to renew it for a couple of reasons. They said that their goal with every partnership is to bring new customers while also re-engaging existing ones, and we didn't meet that goal with my last contract. Now, that is totally fine. I felt badly. I felt a little guilty, like I let them down a little bit. But I remained a loyal customer after that. I think I bought 3 or 4 book outlet hauls. Yeah, I did 3 or 4 purchases after that, and that was February 2020, and it's only June now. And then racism. I am so disappointed in Book Outlet right now, and now I'm going to explain what happened if you are not aware of it. I'm also going to link down below a couple of Black booktubers talking about this. I think it's really, really important to go and watch them. There's Mina Reads, and there's Naya Reads and Smiles. She also addresses it. So over on Twitter, a couple of Black booktubers reached out to Book Outlet, and they had said, you know, remember when we asked Book Outlet if we could be vlogger friends, because they only had one Black vlogger friend, and they didn't respond, I don't think. Sophia wrote, I feel like Book Outlet doesn't care as long as they have their token minority. I can't help but feeling colorism has something to do with it. Book Outlet responded very stupidly, we're sorry for our silence. Please see our latest post on Facebook page for our books by Black authors list and some words on the matter. So basically what they did was say, we're not going to address this at all. Please go over to our store and buy books by Black authors. Like, that answers the question, which it does not in any way, shape, or form. So she wrote back, your response didn't address my concern, which is the lack of diversity on your vlogger friends page. Why is there only one Black person on that entire page? How do you plan on fixing that? That's a perfectly acceptable question. And then they wrote this. Our vlogger friends are chosen based on engagement, following, and content. We maintain a family-friendly appearance. So we do not sign on applicants who swear, post explicit content. Diversity is important, and we have been looking to round out our team with qualified men and women. So, several things. The first thing that I thought of when I saw this post was family friendly. It suggests that Black booktubers are not family friendly. Moreover, the vlogger friends that they did have, Kayla from Books and Lala, for example, she swears all the time. I love Kayla. She swears all the time on her channel. So why is it okay for Kayla to swear and not a Black booktuber to swear? Why is that an issue at all? Now, I do have to say that since then, all of the Book Outlet vlogger friends have pulled out and have stopped working with them, which I think is a wonderful, wonderful thing. The other part that I struggled with this post is that it says diversity is important. We're looking to round out our team with qualified men and women. So to me, that also read as diversity is only men and women and not men, women, you know, people of color, people of diverse sexual orientation. Like, it was such a crappy answer. It was such a problematic answer. And so, rightfully so, booktubers are outraged. And I am outraged by this. This is not right. Moreover, you know, you'll see in the videos that I link from those Black booktubers, many of them were talking about how, like, some of the Black booktubers who reached out and said, we'd like to work with you, they had more followers than the people who ended up being vlogger friends. I had 7,000. I think some of them had 11,000. So why wouldn't they take my spot? Why did I take their spot? That makes no sense whatsoever. I am really disappointed. I'm really disappointed. And I'm not going to be buying books from Book Outlet anymore. Even the response since then has been like, we're sorry, we're gonna like look at the Book Outlet vlogger program and rework it. They always should have been doing that, especially when, you know, it's not hard to find these Black booktubers. They are reaching out to you. And then, you know, they're talking about, oh, we're making a separate page for Black authors and anti-racist stuff that you can buy from us. Like, you're going to profit off of that. There has to be a lot of work there. So I also want to apologize to all of the Black booktubers who had written in and had tried to become vlogger friends, and I took their spot. I should not have taken their spot. I had no idea that that was happening. But it really, really upsets me and angers me, and it leaves a bad taste in my mouth that even was happening when I was all excited that I was this, you know, vlogger friend, and meanwhile this is happening. And that's just wrong. I really want the company to actually apologize to all of their customers. I want them to actually apologize to Black booktubers. I want them to do a heck of a lot better. I want them to train their staff in anti-racism and how to treat people. And maybe they should be the ones buying the books on that Black authors anti-racist page that they have put up. Maybe they should be the ones who sit down and read those friggin' books, because they need to do some work. I am gonna need to see major change on Book Outlet before I would even consider buying from them again. The companies that we buy from, the companies that we work with, should be anti-racist and should not just be saying, hey, we're anti-racist. They should be showing that they're anti-racist. So I, as a consumer, I, as an influencer, am going to be consciously looking for that in the future. You know, I don't have like tons of deals coming my way. I've got 11,000 subscribers. I'm not big, but I want to make that effort. I want to see that from companies. There is no place for anything else. There just isn't. You know, we need to ask the questions and demand answers. And they need to sort their crap out. They really do. So I really wanted to address all of those issues with Book Outlet. It is huge. I hope we all demand better from that company. Yeah, so I really wanted to address that, and I wanted to talk about my read along. I hope that you guys are doing well. Again, in the comments below, what I'd like to see in this video, in the comments, are Black booktuber suggestions from you to me and to everyone else. I want to start following more Black booktubers. I want to seek them out, because the people that are coming up in my feed aren't generally Black, and I want to make that change. I want to make that change because I'm sure there are plenty of amazing Black booktubers that I should be watching and engaging with, and I'm really, really excited. So please, in the comments below, link those people, and I hope that you guys are doing well. I really hope that you guys join the White Fragility read along wherever it is. if it's over at Books with Shea, if it's with me. I really hope that maybe booktubers who are watching this will start their own. I really hope that you guys consider starting a read-along for an anti-racist book in your community. It is eye-opening and sometimes upsetting, but also sometimes really wonderful. I've gotten a real mix of feelings from doing that myself. So I hope you're doing well, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye, guys.